What's going on, everybody? Project Raw here, and it is time to crown a racing champion here in Oakland for World Finals 3. April Summers and Gravedigger is your World Finals 3 high jump champion, as she earned her first ever World Finals championship here in this series. Bakugan Dragonoid on top with 28 points, though, for the overall leaderboards here in World Finals 3. Megalodon and Gravedigger tied for second, Max D in fourth, and Northern Nightmare in fifth, so these are the trucks really to look out for as of now. This is the overall leaderboards for the season, and Dragon has that lead a lot smaller now. He's 3 points ahead of Bakugan Dragonoid, who's now in second. Monster Dalmatian moving down to third, but he's only 5 points behind, and Megalodon in fourth, only 8 points behind. So these four are the top four to look out for as we progress in this event. This is the racing bracket, for racing here today in Oakland. Max D having the bye run into round two, given that he was the fastest qualifier. And because of the number of competitors, we only have one truck getting a bye run. So let's go ahead and get started with round one of racing here in Oakland. Let's see who's going to get the first win between Earthshaker and Angel Garcia versus Soldier Fortune and Brian the Dog Webb, rocking that Black Ops body specifically for, that's a hard word, specifically for World Finals 3. And these berms are going to be challenging. And before I move on, let's hear a quick message from Daniel the
Hello,
Fireball
all
Murray.
Project Rod fans. Make sure to join the Discord in the description below.
And thank you again, Daniel. Appreciate that Discord plug. Looks like Black Ops has a lead over Earthshaker, but the last berm takes him out a bit, and it's going to be Earthshaker taking the advantage there, taking the opportunity of that little slip up by Soldier Fortune, and he'll be moving on to face Max D in round two. Here comes MMJ Producer and Doomsday versus April Summers and Gravedigger, two trucks from the Arena Series who had a hell of a season. Have had good seasons both. MMJ Producer especially winning the last chance qualifier to be here, and April Summers and Gravedigger being your new high jump champion. So I'm sure they're both in very good spirits right now and are looking for a racing championship. It looks like April Summers has a slight lead over MMJ Producer, and I believe it's going to be April Summers taking the win from MMJ. So Gravedigger moving on and hoping to get a racing championship as we move on to the next race of round one. It's going to be Blue Thunder and Action Phil versus Dragon and Flames Plays. And Dragon really needs a win here if he wants to increase that point lead or at least stay on top, because losing here, depending on the time, could put him in a really bad place. Action Phil and Blue Thunder, I'm sure he'd love to come out with a racing win. He got snubbed in Anaheim. I wouldn't even say snubbed, he lost by inches, but nonetheless, almost got a racing win and was just short of getting that win, and I'm sure he'd love to get a win here in Oakland, especially at World Finals. But Blue Thunder, some trouble off the berm, but Dragon 2, he's cutting the turn too short. It's going to be Blue Thunder getting to the finish line first and getting that racing win. Very, very crazy finish to this race, but it was Blue Thunder who came out on top. And I'm telling you, man, these berms are a dangerous, dangerous thing. Here comes El Toro Loco and Driftboy 912 and Brandon Thunder driving Megalodon back with that golden body after polishing it for high jump. I know he didn't want to, after that little mishap in qualifying, he didn't want to mess up the body for the rest of the event. So he put it aside for a high jump and brought out that overcast body to make sure that if anybody got damaged, it was going to be that overcast one and not this beautiful golden body. But we're coming close to the end of the first race. El Toro Loco, though, very unfortunate, going off of the track. That's going to be a penalty, but Megalodon kissing the wall. It's going to come down to the final time, and it's going to be Megalodon getting the winner. Look at El Toro Loco backflipping after the race, but Megalodon 2. A crazy finish to the first race. The berms take yet two more victims. Let's go ahead and take a look at El Toro Loco right here after this jump. Kind of set him in an awkward angle and right outside the line, skipping that last berm. That's what caused the 3-second penalty, and then finishing the race right here. Just an awkward angle and giving him a beautiful backflip. Honestly, textbook backflip, one of the best we've seen. Even though it was unintentional, Megalodon, though, here kissing the wall, which kind of didn't really affect him too bad if he ended up getting the win. And right here, kind of bicycled into that jump, which sent him into a little frenzy here. A backflip right here, luckily not damaging that beautiful gold Megalodon body, so it'll live for another race. But Megalodon moving on to round two. Here comes a rematch of World Finals 1 championship race. Northern Nightmare and Alex Stevens 27 and Cecily 96 driving Alien Invasion. These two have raced in every single World Finals to date. There's only been 3, including this one, but In World Finals 1, Northern Nightmare came out on top, becoming the racing champion. And in World Finals 2, they led everybody off as the first race of round 1, where Northern Nightmare was yet again victorious. And it looks like it's going to happen again, as Northern Nightmare takes the racing win away from Alien Invasion. And Cecily 96, he'll be moving on as Alien Invasion, a crazy save here, trying to, yes, she's going to get a save. So nicely done by Alien Invasion, getting that save. And right here, as you can see, it was just an awkward bounce, trying to control the truck, using that rear steer to her advantage, but just a lot of bouncing around everywhere. And right there, you thought it'd be over, but enough momentum to get back on all fours. So that beautiful green body will live another day, but Northern Nightmare will be moving on. And this is going to be the race to watch right here, because these two have the best racing records in their series. They are the best racers when it comes to the Arena Series and the Stadium Series. Captain's Curse and Crazy Monster Jam Fan, the undefeated champion of the Arena Series, and Monster Mutt Dalmatian and Omboji with 2 racing wins this season and a 9-2 racing record. Let's see who's going to come out on top. Everyone's favorite right now is Crazy Monster Jam Fan, but I know there are others that want Monster Mutt Dalmatian and Omboji to win. And it's all going to come down to this. Captain's Curse getting to the turn first, and Captain's Curse and Crazy Monster Jam Fan will be moving on to round 2, eliminating the best racer in the Stadium Series, Monster Mutt Dalmatian and Omboji, as we move on now to the final race of round 1. It's going to be Bakugan Dragonoid and Daniel the Fireball Murray versus J-Pace Racing in Crush Station. Bakugan Dragonoid had a win in Arlington, the first racing win of the season, and kind of was a little back and forth from then on out, but still a good racer nonetheless. Crush Station, I don't think he's ever made it really past the second round, so it's going to be interesting to see who's going to make it and face the undefeated champ of the Arena Series right now. Looks like Bakugan Dragonoid has the lead, conquering the berms perfectly and coming to the turn first, and it's no contest, no surprise here. Bakugan Dragonoid getting the racing win over Crush Station and J-Pace Racing. So we are done with round 1. As we move on to round 2, let's go ahead and take a look at the bracket. It's going to be Max D versus Earthshaker, Gravedigger versus Blue Thunder, Megalodon versus Northern Nightmare, and Captain's Curse versus Bakugan Dragonoid. It's going to be a very, very interesting round 2, to say the least. Let's go ahead and get started with round 2. And again, the ones that are going to lead us off are going to be Angel Garcia and Earthshaker, that made it here from the qualifier round at the beginning of the season, and your reigning World Finals 2 racing champion, 3-time champion Ethan Waters in Max D. Not only that, he was also your fastest qualifier. So it's going to be interesting to see what Earthshaker can bring to the board here. A great turn by both, and pretty, I was going to say pretty even, but Max D got to the jump a little bit sooner than Earthshaker. Let's see how they can conquer the berms. Earthshaker making it to the berms first, and we may have an upset. It's going to be Earthshaker knocking out the fastest qualifier, and Angel Garcia is going to be moving on to the semifinal round, a wheelie and celebration. Max D twirling around, kind of trying to save the truck, and he is going to save the truck. But Ethan Waters is eliminated. We will not see a back-to-back champion. And right here, just an awkward jump off of the race lane, and led him into that obstacle, kind of twirling him around. And Angel Garcia and Earthshaker, whether intentional or not, a nice celebratory wheelie after his victory over the fastest qualifier, one of the most dangerous trucks in this lineup. Now, it's time to find out who his competitor is going to be. Is it going to be Action Phil and Blue Thunder, or April Summers and Gravedigger, your World Finals 3 high jump champion? And right now, it's looking like Arena Series has the advantage, because Gravedigger and April Summers is from the Arena Series, and they took the high jump championship. So not only was it for her, but it was for everybody in the Arena Series. So it's Arena Series versus Stadium Series right now. Gravedigger kind of tripping up a bit earlier, and it's going to affect her as Blue Thunder is going to get to the turn first, and Blue Thunder and Action Phil moving on to the semifinal round to race Angel Garcia and Earthshaker and Gravedigger almost getting a flip, but Blue Thunder as well. What is even going on here? Blue Thunder didn't get a flip. He got just some big air. I was too busy looking at Gravedigger. Gravedigger on her side now, but right here, a bicycle into that obstacle, sending her almost into a backflip, but the hood of the truck, the front end of the truck, the chassis, caught the dirt, and that stopped her from getting a full rotation. So very, very interesting, and hopefully we can get those repairs done and get her back in time for skills. Here comes the next race of round 2. It's going to be Northern Nightmare, your World Finals 1 racing champion, and Brandon Thunder and Megalodon. Again, rocking that beautiful gold body, but Northern Nightmare rocking that beautiful white inverse body. Honestly, one of my favorites. Also, don't forget to check out the Rodcast, the Monster Truck Fanatic podcast, now on Spotify and YouTube. Both having some good turns, although Megalodon making it to it first. And Megalodon and Brandon Thunder getting to the turn first, and he will be knocking out Northern Nightmare, and Alex Stevens 27. Megalodon trying to save the truck again, trying to avoid any damage to the body, and he's going to be able to do just that. That Gold's body is just taking hits left and right, surviving as we move on in the competition right here. A beautiful save by Megalodon and Brandon Thunder. But that means we're going to have a new racing champion this World Finals, because Northern Nightmare is the World Finals 1 racing champion. Max D is the World Finals 2 racing champion, and they've both been eliminated. Now it's time to see who's going to face Megalodon in the semifinal round. Is it going to be Crazy Monster Jam Fan in Captain's Curse, or Daniel the Fireball Murray in Bakugan Dragonoid? Both some great turns. Bakugan getting to the race lane first. Now let's see who executes this turn better. And Captain's Curse may have had a slight edge over Bakugan. Now this turn is going to be the one that determines it. It's going to be Captain's Curse and Crazy Monster Jam Fan going to the semifinal round. Again, no surprise here. This guy is a racer through and through. Unfortunately for Bakugan Dragonoid, he is out of the racing competition. This is the racing bracket. After all that is said and done, we have our 4 finalists, and that's going to be Earthshaker and Angel Garcia versus Action Film Blue Thunder, Brandon Thunder and Megalodon versus Crazy Monster Jam Fan and Captain's Curse. Let's go ahead and get started with racing semifinals here in World Finals 3. Who's going to be our first finalist between Blue Thunder and Action Phil and Angel Garcia and Earthshaker? Both trucks, honestly, surprising to see here. Maybe not Blue Thunder. He's been on somewhat of a pretty good hot streak here, ending Anaheim. Earthshaker, though, hasn't had the best racing season this season. But, again, World Finals, all that is thrown out the window. It's how you perform the day of, not how you perform all season long. Earthshaker, though, almost some trouble in that first turn. Let's see who can conquer the berms better. They're both going to get a good jump off of the berms. It's going to come down to this final turn. It's going to be a photo finish. A photo finish for the for the final, I don't know what to call it, the semifinal round, but to get into the final round, Blue Thunder over there trying to save the truck and is able to save it. We're going to have to go to an instant replay here. Right there, and honestly, it looks like Earthshaker has it. We're going to go with the super slow-mo now. And it's going to be Angel Garcia and Earthshaker moving on to the championship round here in World Finals 3, again, beating Blue Thunder by inches. Yet again, unfortunate for Action Film Blue Thunder, but a huge congratulations and a huge moment for Angel Garcia and Earthshaker. He now has an opportunity to be the racing champion here in World Finals 3, but we're going to have to see who his competitor is. Is it going to be Crazy Monster Jam Fan and Captain's Curse, or Brandon Thunder and Megalodon? Don't forget to hit that like button if you like what you see. And let's see who's going to get this racing win and who's going to face Earthshaker. Captain's Curse getting to the berms first. He's conquered the berms. He's going to the turn first. Megalodon overturns it. It's going to be Captain's Curse and Crazy Monster Jam Fan continuing that amazing racing streak. Running into some trouble there, but able to save the truck and no damages whatsoever. So, after all of that, we have 2 trucks left, and that's going to be Earthshaker and Angel Garcia versus Captain's Curse and Crazy Monster Jam Fan. This is going to be the one to watch, the one we've all been waiting for. Let's go ahead and get started with the championship race here in Oakland for World Finals 3. Who do you think is going to be our racing champion? Be sure to comment down below now to let me know who you think and who you're predicting is going to be the winner. Everybody's looking at Captain's Curse, but Earthshaker is really the underdog here, as no one expected him to be here, and yet here he is. Let's go ahead and get started with the race here. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for more Monster Jam content. Let's see who's going to get to the turn first, or the race lane first. It's going to be Earthshaker with a short lead over Captain's Curse, but taking a wide turn. Captain's Curse is going to capitalize on that and get to the berms first. He's going to get to the final turn first. And Crazy Monster Jam Fan and Captain's Curse is your World Finals 3 racing champion. A wheelie in celebration. Earthshaker trying to save the truck. Captain's Curse doing the same, but it's all said and done. Crazy Monster Jam Fan and Captain's Curse is the World Finals 3 racing champion, taking another championship for not only himself, but the Arena Series as a whole, as now they have 2 championships here in World Finals between him and April Summers and Gravedigger. And this is the racing bracket. After all that is said and done, Crazy Monster Jam Fan is on top, and this is literally what just about everybody predicted. But huge kudos to Earthshaker and Angel Garcia for making it that far, because that was an incredible racing event for him. But now we have a very special encore presentation by your World Finals 3 high jump champion. Is going to be April Summers, rocking Sparkle Smash, debuting it for the first time this season. but also hinting towards her identity for the Heavy Metal Monsters League that's going to be going down in Showdown later on. In maybe a few weeks, I would assume. I'd leave that up to Matt to decide, but showing off Sparkle Smash early here in the Steel Titans 2 series. So be sure to check out Heavy Metal Monsters on YouTube as she's getting ready. And just teasing us a bit there, getting it lined up and getting everybody hyped up and ready to go. April Summers, again, an amazing competitor since Season 1. And this is just a great way to end at least this competition, as we have 2 more to go. We have Skills and Freestyle. Is she going to go for it this time? And yet again, teasing us one more time, getting us hyped up and ready to go for the move she's about to throw out at us. But again, April Summers, thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for everything you've done. And I can't wait to see your amazing move here, as I think she's going to go for it now. Here we go, everybody. April Summers in Sparkle Smash, going for the forward momentum backflip. And she's going to land it. Perfectly done. A 12,000 pound unicorn, excuse me. There's the onboard cam, so you can see what she was seeing as she landed that amazing move, as she's going to celebrate here with some crazy cyclones. A giant unicorn doing cyclones here in World Finals 3. A great sight to see. So thank you so much, April, and congratulations on your high jump championship. Now let's go ahead and move on to the leaderboards for the overall event championship. Bakugan Dragonoid still on top. Megalodon in second by himself now. Gravedigger in third. Captain's Curse moving up to fourth as Max D goes down to fifth. There are 2 more competitions left and 15 points in each to earn. So this could change at any moment. But look at this! Bakugan Dragonoid and Daniel the Fireball Murray reclaiming his top spot in the overall leaderboards with 235 points. Megalodon in second. Dragon in third. So this is a huge moment that we're going to have to expand on in the next competition, which is going to be Skills. So be sure to be here. It's going to be up tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time live on YouTube. Huge thank you to all my patrons, April Summers, Detold, Julian Peacock. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone watching, and we'll see you in Skills.